But there's all these little things that people just compare it to tequila, and it's just completely different.
Is there, let's say, three quick lessons that you teach the most often, or what are those topics you teach?
Um, Basic production and a little bit about culture. I don't think people understand that Oaxaca is the second poorest state in Mexico. And everyone's like, oh, the mezcal boom must be bringing so many jobs, but really only affects about 20 to 40,000 people that live in Oaxaca if you really think about the production. And it's a big state that believes in socialism. You'll see the hammer and sickle graffiti all over Oaxaca, and there's always protests in the streets. I can tell you I've missed flights because they've shut down streets and we were trying to get to the airport. So it's a very, very socialist, movement down there.
Mm.
And the mezcal thing is great because it does bring some financial sustainability to like the families. Jose, when we started, he was driving a taxi to pay his bills and making mezcal just as a family tradition. Now him and his whole cousin, his uncles, they all make mezcal for a living, and he doesn't have to drive a taxi. And we even help support their kids. We bought their kids soccer jerseys for a couple years. So
That's
it's like it's the little things that I like to educate people about culture that even I have so much more to learn. I'm by no means an expert, but there's all these little things that people just compare it to tequila, and it's just completely different. There's so much culture behind it. And even just the old argument of, did the Spanish bring over copper stills and that started distillation in Oaxaca, or does it go back to the Aztecs and Mayans because they found distillate and pottery from 3,000 years ago? So it's like those little nuances I love bringing up and talking that I think don't get talked. And economic sustainability. People
Mhm.
really like to talk about environmental, but giving back to the people down there by not just buying product, but giving them some ownership, which Madre does do,
Mhm.
so that everyone has a little bit of skin in the game. So I think sustainability, whether it's environmental, economical, cultural, and production, those are the three things I really like to talk about.
Ryan, as we wrap up, let's talk about where can we learn more about Madre Mezcal? Where can we buy it? Where should we be visiting to find out more about it?
We have a beautiful Instagram online. MadreMezcal.com is our website. We also have this Instagram called mezcal.learning, and it really is an easy way. It's an Instagram, and it's a little short videos and little blurbs to talk about production, families, history, and culture. It's most of your nicer bottle shops, liquor stores. And in California, we're lucky enough to be in Trader Joe's for the Espadine, and Whole Foods has our ensemble, which I always say support your local liquor store if you can. They're going to have much better stuff. But at the same time, I understand times are rough, and the pricing at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods is fantastic. And if for some reason you can't find it, you go to madremezcal.com. We ship bottles to almost every state in the U.S. I'm just excited to see the culture of mezcal just expand beyond just America. And we're actually now in 9 countries too.